Welcome guys, thank you so much for joining in. So starting this analysis by looking at the price action of Bitcoin here in a daily time frame. Right now, as you can see, the price of Bitcoin is showing some impulsive price movement, but the question here is it going to continue further here in an upper direction? Because yesterday when I showed you this one example, this trend line, this falling trend line, which was acting as a resistance and also as a support, we said if the trend of Bitcoin manages to stay above this 33,000 and find support at this trend line, then we could be seeing some sort of an impulsive move playing out for Bitcoin. And now, since the price here is already heading to the upper direction, the question here is it going to continue further from here on? And if there is going to be any obstacle, then what could that be? Because you can see here, if I would simply draw a falling trend line here to the upside and also one falling trend line here to the downward direction, because if you look at the price structure in this way, you can see this is a very nice falling wedge. And according to this falling wedge right now where we are, you can see this line is a very strong resistance line. So that's why right now, if the price of Bitcoin also is able to break out of this upper line area of this falling wedge, which could be around 35,000, right? If we could stay above the 35,000, then another bullish price movement is going to play out for Bitcoin. Not just only because of this falling wedge is a bullish scenario, right? But also if you look at this price structure in a bit different way, you can see it, guys. And also guys, I would really appreciate if you could take just 2 seconds of your time and destroy that like button. And for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. Yesterday, I showed you in a daily time frame, the price of Bitcoin was also following this falling channel or descending channel. And according to the descending channel, the price has already broken out of this upper line area. You can see we also got a retest from the previous temporary resistance line, found support. So that's why what we want at any cost right now is price of Bitcoin here to break out of this 35,000 resistance line. So if this 35,000 resistance line here is going to get broken and price is also going to find support above it, then expect some impulsive move playing out for Bitcoin during this weekend. And that's why right now all eyes is sitting around this 35,000 area, because in the past Bitcoin price action, you can see this area around this 35,000 has played a very important role. And also if you would look at this price structure here in a bit different way, you can see here, guys, this one example. I included many different scenarios for Bitcoin to show you guys why this 33,000 was important. But now you can see this broadening bottom is also indicating after we found support at the lower line area, we have seen some impulsive movement playing out for Bitcoin. So now, since this is also heading here to the upper direction, if this broadening bottom is to continue, right, you can see this price movement is clearly flashing some impulsive movement playing out for Bitcoin. But to make this impulsive move happen, we have to overcome one obstacle which I just showed you. And this obstacle is falling trend line or the upper line area of this falling wedge, because I showed you guys this line here must be broken at any cost if the trend here wants to see some very nice impulsive move playing out. So that's why, guys, that's why 35,000 line must be broken and also must be a proper support for Bitcoin if the trend here wants to continue to the upper direction. Because any sort of a rejection from this line, again, we could see a potential downward price movement that could bring us again around this 33 to 30,000 price area. That is not what we want to see right now. And let us also see what the price of Bitcoin is flashing here, right, in a 4-hour time frame. So let me delete everything and change this time frame into 4-hour time frame, because in a 4-hour time frame, guys, you can see this price movement here. This here is actually a very nice sideways channel or so-called parallel channel, or you can also call a horizontal channel, doesn't matter. But you can see in a 4-hour time frame, this upper line here is acting as a resistance, lower line is acting as a very strong support line. So if this trend here wants to continue, as I already said to you, 35,000 line resistance line must be broken, right, which is this here, because we can see very clearly support resistance. So now this 35,000 is also a target area and could also be acting as a resistance. That's why I said to you, if we could manage to find a proper support above this 35,000, then maybe we could also be heading towards the upper line area, just like here in the past Bitcoin price action. Because you can see here, finding support at the lower line area indicated some very bullish price movement, which brought us also around the upper line area of this horizontal channel. Same scenario played out here. You can see, right, price came at the top of this channel. So now since the price has got a double confirmation here, right, this is more of a double bottom type of scenario. So that's why breaking this neckline here is also going to include some very impulsive move that could be playing out for Bitcoin here in a 4-hour time frame. That could also bring us again around this 40,000 price area. So that's why looking into different scenario, the price of Bitcoin is flashing a very interesting scenario. And if you would look at this price structure again in a smaller time frame, we can also see here in a hourly time frame. Let's switch this into hourly time frame. So yesterday I showed you this one pattern which was actually indicating, hey, this price movement what we are witnessing with Bitcoin could be forming a very nice head and shoulder type of scenario. And according to this head and shoulder, you can see the price here broke the neckline area, right? We also, right, you can see we also tried to re-enter it, got a rejection, got a pullback, and now you can see the neckline was tested again, but we were able to break out of this neckline area this time. So this here is also indicating right now for the price action of Bitcoin, if we look at this breakout, any sort of a pullback here in an hourly time frame, the neckline which is lying somewhere around 34,000 is definitely going to be one very strong support line for Bitcoin. So if this trend is going to continue, right, then we will be looking this around as a ascending triangle type of scenario, because if you look at this price properly, you can see here. So let me delete everything and show you only around this particular area in an hourly time frame. So this here, right, in hourly time frame is pointing out that if this is going to play out, right, then you can see this here is also showing us that we could be heading towards the 35,000 area. So that's why according to this ascending triangle here in hourly time frame, 35,000 is our target area and also a must break area for Bitcoin, because if we break over 35,000 and also find support above it, then you can see guys, this here, right, is also going to break the left shoulder right shoulder resistance line, and we could be clearly finding support and ready for another impulsive move here in an upper direction. So any sort of a price pullback, we know the same line here around 34,000 could be acting as a very strong support, because doesn't matter whichever way you look at this, we could see the price movement not just only because of this head and shoulder and also this ascending triangle, but if you simply add this falling trend line, because if you have watched my video from yesterday, I said you guys very clearly that this here is a lower highs lower lows continuation pattern, and we are getting a strong rejection from the upper line area of this descending channel. But if the price of Bitcoin is able to find support above this upper line area which temporarily acted as a resistance, right, and also break this movement here in an upper direction, then 34,000 is going to be our target area, you can see here, right, and breaking this 34,000 is going to include another impulsive move. And now you can see why I talked about that. The price did came the 34,000, we are also able to break out of it, and we see another impulsive move playing out for Bitcoin. So that's why it doesn't matter whichever scenario we look for Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin here could be heading towards the 35,000 here in a short time frame. And if we do manage to break out of the 35,000, then there could be another impulsive move playing out for Bitcoin, which would bring us around this 40,000 price range again, guys. So these are some of the scenarios I thought sharing with you in today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this video was helpful enough. If that's the case, then please hit the like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this and signing out, my name is Anup. Bye bye guys.